Success leaves clues. If you study the world's most accomplished people, from billionaires to elite athletes, from groundbreaking artists to transformative leaders, you'll discover they all share certain daily rituals that quietly compound over time into extraordinary results. These aren't mysterious secrets or lucky breaks, but rather consistent behaviors that anyone can adopt starting today. Morning routines tell the first important story. While most people are hitting snooze, highly successful individuals are already shaping their day. Apple's Tim Cook begins before 4 a.m., not because he's naturally a morning person, but because he understands the priceless value of undisturbed hours. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is lifting weights in the gym while the world still sleeps, building both his body and his discipline simultaneously. These early risers don't wait for motivation to strike, they create it through action, understanding that the first hours of the day set the trajectory for everything that follows. What happens next is even more revealing. In our age of endless digital distractions, successful people treat their focus like a precious currency. Bill Gates famously takes "think weeks," where he disappears to read and reflect without interruption. Elon Musk breaks his schedule into 5-minute increments, not to be robotic, but to ensure his attention goes only to what truly matters. Warren Buffett spends about 80% of his working day simply reading and thinking, a startling contrast to how most people fritter away their mental energy on trivialities. They understand at a bone-deep level that where attention flows, energy goes, and where energy goes, life grows. Continuous learning forms another cornerstone of their success architecture. Mark Zuckerberg makes a habit of finishing a new book every 2 weeks, while Oprah Winfrey turned her personal love of reading into a cultural movement that kept her constantly expanding her mind. Elon Musk, when deciding to build rockets, didn't wait for formal training. He immersed himself in textbooks until he could debate aerospace engineers as an equal. For these individuals, education doesn't end with schooling, it becomes a lifelong passion, because they recognize that knowledge compounds interest over time, creating unexpected opportunities where others see none. Perhaps most importantly, successful people share a unique relationship with action. Where others hesitate, waiting for perfect conditions or guaranteed outcomes, they move forward despite uncertainty. Jeff Bezos launched Amazon from his garage with no assurance it would succeed. Sarah Blakely, with no fashion experience, cut the feet off her pantyhose to create the first Spanx prototypes before she even had a manufacturer. They embody the philosophy that imperfect action beats perfect inaction every time, because real-world feedback trumps hypothetical planning. When setbacks inevitably come, as they do for everyone, these individuals demonstrate another critical habit: they process failure differently. Steve Jobs being fired from Apple became the foundation for his greatest innovations. J.K. Rowling's 12 publisher rejections for Harry Potter now serve as inspiration for struggling writers worldwide. Thomas Edison reframed his 1,000 unsuccessful attempts at the light bulb not as failures, but as discoveries of how not to do it. Their secret isn't avoiding failure, but extracting wisdom from it, treating each stumble as data rather than destiny. The people they surround themselves with tell another revealing story. Kobe Bryant sought out Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson not for photo opportunities, but for hard-earned wisdom. Warren Buffett attributes much of his success to the mentorship of Benjamin Graham. Tony Robbins often says we become the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with, and high achievers curate their inner circles accordingly. They understand that growth thrives in certain environments and stagnates in others, so they intentionally place themselves where growth is inevitable. Physical vitality forms the often overlooked foundation of their success. Richard Branson credits his daily exercise routine for giving him the energy to build multiple billion-dollar companies. Ariana Huffington completely transformed her life after collapsing from exhaustion, becoming a passionate advocate for sleep and recovery. LeBron James invests millions annually in his body's maintenance, understanding that peak performance requires peak conditioning. They recognize a simple but profound truth: the quality of your life depends on the quality of your energy, and no amount of talent or ambition can compensate for a depleted physical vessel. Underpinning all these habits is a relentless clarity of vision combined with equally relentless execution. Elon Musk didn't just dream of electric cars and space travel, he wrote detailed plans and worked backward to make them real. Steve Jobs obsessed over product details because he could vividly see how technology should intersect with daily life. Serena Williams' daily practice sessions reflected not just a desire to be good, but to redefine what was possible in her sport. For these individuals, goals aren't just nice ideas, they're living, breathing commitments that guide daily decisions. The beautiful truth emerging from all this? Success isn't about being special, it's about being specific. It's not about grand, sweeping gestures, but about small, consistent choices repeated day after day. The morning routines, the protected focus, the continuous learning, the bias toward action, the resilient mindset, the curated relationships, the physical care, the clear vision, these are all available to anyone willing to practice them. The real question isn't whether these habits work, the evidence is overwhelming that they do. The only question that matters is, which of them will you begin implementing today? Because the life you want won't be created by a single dramatic transformation, but by the quiet accumulation of daily disciplines that eventually add up to something extraordinary. Your future self will thank you for every positive habit you establish now. The clock is ticking, why not start this very moment?